when we celebrated 2-digit birthdays. We're used to celebrating 1-digit birthdays, but we're blessed and we can celebrate 3-digit birthdays. And this is the third 3-digit birthday we're celebrating. Because when Sarah comes up with her family, this is a real opportunity for us to appreciate that we're with somebody who actually lived through everything we're studying today. We couldn't always, even in the most extraordinary circumstances, we couldn't have said that. But it's not just survival. It's the combination of everything you bring, all of the experiences. Last night, Steve talked about the traditional values of sewing and homemaking and maintaining it and literally making your own clothes, but also being informed in the world, being informed in what's going on beyond, traveling to Israel, to around the world, to experiencing the fullness of life, bringing to it what you came from, but absorbing everything that's new and available. And when I think about, we hear the stories and you talk at the table and think, my God, you had eye surgery and you got a new lease on life to be able to experience more fresh, new things. It's like such a statement that the greatest tradition and the greatest gift you give us is the capacity to appreciate that there's always a future. And in that future, you can always have new experiences with new freshness, new ideas, new news, new perspectives, new friends, new community, moving across the country and creating for all of us a feeling like you represent to all of us the stability of being here, even as you yourself are new to us. And it's not so new anymore, which is even great. So come on up, take this aliyah with the respect and the involvement and the love we all feel. Sure.
You're getting old?
It's always true.
Everything is relative. Do it, thankfully.
What?
I'm putting a chair behind you.
Sure.
Tell me where you want to stop. Okay? Yeah.
Don't blow the guy.
Baruch Adonai HaMarak Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMarak Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher natan banu oh, sorry. Anu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Oh, you're back there.
Amen. V'yan Lavan, v'yomer el Yaakov, habanot v'notai v'habanim, v'nai hatzonsoni lecho, asher ata ro'eh lihu, v'livnotai la'eseh, ve'ela hayom, kol ibneihen, asher yeladu, v'ata lecha nikrata bri, nikrata v'aya v'haya le'shei v'yu. Vayata, Vayikach Yaakov, Aben V'yarimu Masibah. Vayomer Yaakov Le'echav, Letu Avanim, Ve'hu Avanim V'yasu Gal, Yehusham Al-Hagal. Vayikra Lo Lavan Ikar Shahatu Duta, Yaakov Kara Lo Gal. Vayomer Lavan Hagal Hazeh Ve'ni Uvinecha Hayom Al Ken Karash Lo Gal. V'hamaseifa Asher Amar Etzeif Adonai Ve'ni Uvinecha Ki Nisater Ish Meregu Im Ta'anet Et Benotai Im Tikat Nashim Al Benotai Ein Yishimanu Re'ei Elohim
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam atah b'toleinu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu haTorah.
Amen.
My birthday's on Tuesday. So I'm so glad I'm 101. Tuesday I'll be 102.
We shouldn't push it.
I'm so glad to be celebrating my mom's 102nd birthday today. Thank you, Barbara Slutsky, for your help, and thank you all of Aitz Hayim for making Shabbat a highlight of my mom's week. Where does Sammy go? Oh, okay. I also want to thank our dear friend Sam Proper from traveling from Long Island to be with us. Sammy's parents, Sid and Rose Proper, were great friends, and I want to thank Sarah Polanski for coming. Not as far. Yes, but we'd love to see you. Sid and Rose Proper were great friends of my parents. They met at a dinner dance for retired military officers. Sid was a full colonel, while my dad was a major. I learned last night, I had to pencil this on the side, I learned last night from Sam that the only time his parents went to Israel was one of the 23 times my parents went, because they all went together on military aircraft. That was in 1986, and he actually has some pictures to prove it. So, meeting Sid and Rose meant my parents got to meet their son, and Sam subsequently became one of the big reasons my mom didn't want to move away from New York. He used to buy her bagels all the time and stop by.
Don't forget the onions.
Every time.
And the onions.
The onions.
The past 2 years at Aitz Hayim, when we celebrated my mom's 100th and their 101st birthday, we've tried to pinpoint her. Am I in the way of her?
I got her.
We've tried to pinpoint her secret to longevity. That's because pretty much everyone who meets her and does a double take about her age asks her secret. We've come up with everything from her love of eating raw onions to her resiliency in the face of sorrow, her accepting what can you do attitude. I've also described her willingness to keep growing and try new things, including learning how to enter her library books into an Excel spreadsheet. She's also learned to live with and love a dog when she never liked animals before. But my mom's own #1 answer to her secret to longevity is that she greets each day with her face to the sun and with appreciation. Enough of that. She's 102 on Tuesday, and most of you, so some don't know her, but most of you know her well enough that it's time to look for the answer to her longevity and some of her bad habits. I'm going to share 3 of them. I did get permission to do this, so don't worry, I'm not in trouble. Who knows, maybe there's magic in bad habits. Maybe that's the real secret. My moms all have something to do with food. First is my mother's love of cookies. I'm not talking a passing interest. I'm talking if the box that is always on the table near where she eats is empty, it's a crisis. Since I do the food shopping, I'm in charge of making sure she doesn't run out. It's not an easy job. She eats a few cookies after breakfast, a few after lunch, and some after dinner. Sometimes she makes herself a cup of coffee in the afternoon, and everyone knows you can't have a cup of coffee without nibbling on something. This is not a new habit, and I checked this with Sammy too. For as long as I can remember, there was a box of cookies at my mother. Sorry. Got it, thank you. There was always a box of cookies on my mother's kitchen table in her house in New York. Okay, she doesn't like overly sweet ones, so there's a little bit of healthy in that, but she does love cookies. Maybe the secret to longevity here is not holding back, not depriving oneself from the simple pleasures in life. And what's simpler than a good cookie? My mom's second bad food habit, and Maureen can attest to this one, is her love of hot dogs. Frankfurters is her official word for them. For the past 2 years, Maureen and my mom have celebrated their November birthdays, Maureen and Alan's on November 15th, and my mom's on the 20th, by going out for hot dogs. Last year, we went to Shavitz on Central Street in Highland Park. This year, Maureen thrilled my mom by suggesting her childhood favorite, Pookies and Skokie. Poochies. Oh my gosh! Thank you. Poochies. I got there okay, though. The navigator words. And then thrilled her again with the surprise of David Landau at lunch. As an aside, I'm vegan. Or vegan enough that I haven't eaten meat, let alone a hot dog, in several decades. Still, I accompany Maureen and my mom, and this year David got me a really great Poochie's veggie burger. If my mom had her way, she'd eat Hebrew Natural hot dogs every night. She might even ask for just one for lunch and then her normal 2 for dinner. I tried to enlist the support of my mom's doctor, who happens to be my internist too. This is the same woman who points me, the almost vegan, to the website Forks Over Knives to answer my nutrition questions. This very same doctor laughed when I asked if maybe hot dogs weren't so good at my mom's age. She said, whatever your mother eats is working, so just let her. So it's up to me to be the bad guy. I try to restrict Frankfurters to those nights I have some reason to go out. It eases my guilt about not being home to feed my mom something special. I think she likes when I go out. She gets 2 kosher hot dogs done just right with mustard and a pickle. I'm still working on what's in hot dogs that contributes to longevity.
Preservatives.
I gotta go home and rewrite a lot.
The mustard, maybe? I think. Maybe tradition, or maybe they just taste good. The third bad habit.
How hungry you eat.
The third bad habit I'm going to share today isn't completely food related. It has to do with books. As many of you know, my mom is a big mystery reader. I have almost as much trouble since her surgery keeping up with her demand of large print books in the library as I do with keeping up with cookies. The problem with any good book, but good mysteries in particular, is that they're hard to put down. So it often happens that my mom will read late into the night or all night. This isn't a problem, really. I mean, she's long retired, she's allowed to read where and whenever she pleases, and she's able to catch up on sleep during the day. The problem is when she does catch up on sleep, she wakes up, and whether it's midnight or noon, she doesn't check the clock because she's hungry and thinks it's morning. I mean, wouldn't you if you just woke up? And she starts pouring cereal and looking for her morning medications and isn't pleased with me that I forgot to put them on her table. So if these 3 are my mom's worst habits, she and all of us are doing just fine. Next time someone asks her secret to longevity, I'm going to encourage her to answer, I have 3 secrets. Lots and lots of cookies, Frankfurters, and with a good amount of mustard, and reading only mysteries to all hours, and then eating 2 breakfasts a day. I am so grateful for this time with my mother. I am grateful she is actually healthier this year than she was last year at this time, and that she has reached this season.
Yes, and I'm lucky to have my daughter.
All this and the granddaughter at the U of C.
Yeah, who actually showed up for dinner last night. Took the train.
Mazel tov, mazel tov, sing it love, sing it love, mazel tov, mazel tov, sing it love, sing it love, mazel tov, sing it love, hey, hey,
Now Adam will introduce the Musaf, and that is, this week is Thanksgiving. It's a holiday that all of us learned about when we first started in school. It's a holiday that has complicated, mixed stories, and today, at our Musaf, the two stories, the two perspectives we will have, I can guarantee you, are unique for any Shabbat service anywhere in the country where people are marking Thanksgiving.